This is where the fun begins.
Get those wonderful toys.
Welcome to the party, pal!
All right. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome. Welcome to the show. I am Diehard 3.75, and this is your bi weekly 118 3.75 Toy Talk news show. Hope everyone is having or had a good weekend. I know I have, and this is the best way to end it, talking toys with you guys. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see if I've got everything here correctly. It looks like I do. Everyone can hear me, I hope. And before we get started, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. We'll start here at the top. Mahana, Mudhorn Station. Hello, Ian, Shmebulok, Bjorn. Welcome, Bjorn. Beta Ray Bob. Hello again, Beta Ray Bob. I had a great talk with Bob and Will on their show today. I had a great time. Always very kind of them to invite me on their show. We talked O-rings, modern O-rings, everything, the future, the state of the game. I guess we call it the state of the game, the state of O-rings. And it was a fun show. It was a really fun show. So please check that out if you haven't had a chance. Wilhelm Toy and Hobby live stream today. A lot of fun. Let's see who else I see. Bob, Ian, Bjorn, Pirates. Welcome, Pirates. Hope you're doing well. Been waiting for you to come back. Hope everything is going well. It's good to see you out there. Thanks for coming. You guys, you're talking a little March Madness. Yeah, I started watching Into the Toy Box. And we'll talk a little bit about this. I've been painting, so I had it on for a while, but I couldn't participate because I had gloves on, and I was kind of playing in the background, and then I had to eat dinner, and so I'll have to catch the rest of it later. It looked like a fun show. But yeah, March Madness. Jabalong Jeff, what's up, Jeff? Good morning. Yeah, earlier, I know. I'm feeling it right now. I'm starting to feel it right now. So I've been very busy. A lot of little projects I'm trying to take care of. Actually helped with some of the news this week on the show. You did. I'm gonna give you your shout out. I think you mean this show. You were helping out on Wilhelm's show too. You were doing all kinds of stuff. You're everywhere. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. Paul Morales, welcome, Paul Morales. Good to see you. Marauder should be here tomorrow. Oh, cool. Picking up another HK87. That's a good figure. Yes. You're going to like that one. Or another one. Tech 489. Hello. Yo. All right. I think I got everybody. I hope I did. If I missed you, I apologize. Having trouble seeing a little bit today. I'm not sure why. I've had some pretty bad allergies the last couple days. I guess I have an allergy to tree pollen. And I do live in the city that was once called the City of Trees. Now they call themselves the Farm to Fork capital. Go figure. But there's a lot of trees, a lot of pollen, and it has just knocked me out the last couple days. But welcome to the show. So let's talk really quick. The last 2 weeks, I haven't done any videos, guys. I haven't done any videos. I have one prepped up, ready to go, and I have not had time. What I've been doing is, I mentioned this on the last stream, my son's room is getting a remodel, a rehab, a refresh, kind of like I did to this room, but maybe even a little nicer. So I had to empty that room out, painted the whole thing, and it's getting a new floor. And they're coming tomorrow to do the floor. It's an old wood floor. They're going to refresh it, uh, bring it back to life, sort of thing. So I have every minute I've had, I've been working on that room, getting everything out of there, painting the whole thing, preparing for these guys to come tomorrow. So think the floor will be done in the next day or two, and then I'll be right back to normal. When I emptied that room out, all that stuff got put in this room off camera and all throughout the house. It's so cluttered. It's such a mess right now. Hopefully, it'll all be behind me in a few days, and that room's going to be all nice. And we're telling the wife it's probably going to be the nicest room in the house when we're done with it. But I just have not been able to do any videos. I still want to do the vehicle video that I mentioned before, and I have my haul for the month of February that I need to do. And I think maybe in that haul video, I'll do a quick 10 or 5-second clip of that room so you can see what I've done to it. And if you're interested, I know some people don't care at all. Some people are like, oh, let me see. What are you talking about? So I might show you guys a little bit of that room. But it's been a lot of work, and I do everything by myself. And I try to do as much as I can by myself to save money. So I've just been really busy. So I apologize for no videos, but the next 2 weeks I should have a few more. Should get back to normal. Should get back to normal. So thank you. Thanks for coming to the show. That's why I put up the reminder for this show a little bit earlier, just so you guys knew that, yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming. Haven't been able to watch a lot of YouTube or make content for YouTube. But I'm still in the game. I was just busy, man, just busy. And then the allergy thing, it really slowed me down. I haven't been sleeping well because my nose has been all messed up. I've been sleeping with my mouth open, and it's been horrible. But it got better today. Actually, started to feel better today. Do it, yeah. Finally got my Brazagi. All right. Well, Tech, what do you think of that Brazagi? We're gonna talk a little boss fight tonight. In fact, that's enough of my chatter. I've got 10 things here I want to talk about. There was more news, but I couldn't get it all in here, and I was able to kind of take out some of the O-ring stuff because we talked about that on Wilhelm's show. So if you are missing, get that itch for the O-ring stuff, check out that video, that live stream that Wilhelm did today, because we go over a lot of it, most of it. But let's switch to the news, because that's why you're here, right? You're here for the news. It's definitely not for the host. All right. You love it. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. We're going to talk some boss fight here in a second. No O-rings. No, not today. Not this show. Not this one. We went over it really, I'd say, I dabble, but Wilhelm really knows his stuff. He really knows his stuff. So that's the show. That's the show. I like to talk about it when it comes up, but you got to know your limits. And this our shows, the last couple shows have gone on long, and I for the sake of keeping you here, I took them out again this week. But I do enjoy them. All right, so let's talk here again. I always try to sort this in a certain way. I don't know. It makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you guys, but here we go. We're going to start right here. We've talked about the Battlestar Galactica stuff a couple times now. It is up for pre-order on Boss Fight on Big Bad Toy Store and Factory Entertainment site. Might all be sold out now on Boss Fight. I said again on Big Bad. I'm not sure. Haven't looked in a while. But what I wanted to talk about here was the fan poll. They ended up sending it out like the day after we talked last time, and I went ahead and voted. You can vote too. I think the only way, I went on the website today to try to find the poll, and I think the poll was only available if you signed up for their newsletter. I may be wrong, but I couldn't find the poll on their website. It was sent to me through email, the link. So I think if you go to Factory Entertainment, if you want to participate in this poll and vote on some of the figures that you'd like to see in the next wave of Battlestar Galactica figures, go to their page, sign up for the newsletter, and I'm sure they will send you that link or a way to get to that poll. I talked a little bit about this with Jabalong, Jeff, and it seems like this company is really responsive to, they're reading the social media. So they heard, they saw the success. I think we could call it, we can assume it was a very successful pre-order launch. And so they're already interested in doing a second wave, but they want to make sure that they get the figures that we want. It's pretty easy for the first wave, right? Who do we want? We want Starbuck, we want Cylons, we want the main characters. But after that, it might be a little dicey, to take the risk to mold and to make figures. So they're asking for a little bit of fan input. If you want to be a part of that, go to their website, sign up for the newsletter, and you will get a link to this poll. And just a day or two after that, they sent out a second poll, which was really interesting. And this one was even more open, saying, are there any other TV series or movies that you'd like to see action figures in? And I think if you're here as a collector, a few would probably easily come to mind. Again, I think you have to sign up for their newsletter to have participated or got the link to participate in this poll. And it was fun. It was fun. I talked it over with Jeff a little bit. And I think we both wrote in Buck Rogers, which I thought was pretty funny because he was like, I wrote in Buck Rogers. And I was like, so did I. But they have a list there to pick from, but then you can also write one in at the end if there's one that's not on that list that you would like to see. So fun stuff. Who knows what will get picked? I wish I would have screenshot who they had as selections and also with the other one, but I didn't think about it until later on. So I can't show you guys who else was on the list. And I can't remember who I even selected. You know who I picked for the Battlestar Galactica because I showed you guys, and all the ones that I wanted were on that list. So I did pick them. I was able to pick Serena, the dog, and I already forgot. But they were there. But for this list, I can't quite remember. Did you guys participate in these polls? Were you able to? Is this the first you're hearing about it? No O-rings here, only modern. I'm enjoying TVC more and more through my purchasing is based on what's on sale. But still, yeah, the figures have gotten better and better. Weird, I never got the emails. Oh no. Yeah, Buck Rogers. Yeah, Buck Rogers is a good call. Yeah, Buck Rogers was like the first one I thought of. I can't remember who else was in there, but they were mostly 80s, right? Jeff might remember if he's still here. But Buck Rogers, I think it was like, oh, you weren't aware. Okay, yeah, just sign up for I think if you go to their main page and you go to the very bottom, it says like sign up for our newsletter and you put in your email. And again, though, like all these kind of companies, you're going to get an email at least once a week saying, have you seen our prop replica Thundercat sword? How about our helmets? So you're going to get the emails you probably don't want as well. But I think that's how they get you interested and they, hoping that you'll click on something. But yeah, there was two of them. One for Battlestar Galactica, characters you want to see. And then one was action figures and vehicles. So you could write anything you wanted in. Man, I wish I would have got a screenshot of that. Unfortunately, I did not. I did both polls. They're still up if anyone hasn't voted. Is there a link to those, Jeff? Because I couldn't find it. I would like to share it to everyone here, but I couldn't find it. The only way I know how to get it was through the newsletter. But very cool stuff. These guys seem like, I think it's safe to assume that the Battlestar Galactica was a success, and they're now thinking, how else can we make some money? How else can we, because there's obviously a market for this stuff. Maybe we should get into action figures. So it's a good sign for us. And that it's 375, it's 118. So there's a lot of IPs. The poll about the other IPs. That's the poll. Right. All right. So that, just want to talk about that real quick. And now we'll jump into what Tech was kind of talking about. Oh, no, I'm all off. I didn't look at my own outline. I thought we were going to boss fight. Toys Alliance. Let's talk Toys Alliance. Let's talk Acid Rain. I know not everyone collects it. It is on probably the highest end cost-wise of 118, but I did this kind of chronologically. About a week ago, Kit, Lau, Toys Alliance, he started teasing some new figures, and these first couple pictures here were all the teases. And I didn't realize, I thought this was the same figure, and it might be, but done a little. One has the soft goods, one doesn't. One has the tubes in the helmet, one doesn't. But showing off a new figure or figures. First, I wasn't quite sure. He's got him posed up, and then a few days after the teases, he dropped 3 new figures for pre-order on the Pia Club website, which is now shipping to the United States. Now that some of those tariff issues seem to be kind of resolved for a moment. Who knows how that will play out in the end? But Pia's shipping to the United States again. There was 3 new figures. This was the first one. The tubes are now a different color, it looks like. But this is Krazen. I think that's how you say that. Good looking figure. Got soft goods. A little light on the paint apps. A little bit lighter on the paint apps. But we got and accessories. We got a soft goods jacket for this guy, and it looks like a pistol. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Sorry, my chat got shaken up for a second. So we got Krazen here. Looks pretty good. When in the beginning, when I was watching Into the Toy Box, Brian had mentioned these look like downscaled versions of the 6-inch stuff that they're doing, and I think he's right. They're a little lighter on the paint apps. They seem to be a little lighter on the accessories than normal Acid Rain, but I will say they still have some paint apps. You can see here they muddied his boots a bit, but they do seem to be kind of a glossy black, and where most of the Acid Rain stuff is just weathered on weathered, which I guess drives up the cost, right? So I had assumed, looking at these, that they wouldn't be quite as expensive. Acid Rain tends to run at least $40 a figure, at least, usually. And these were about the same price, though. Here's the Marine Trencher, again with some soft goods. This one, again, it looks like he has some paint apps, a little light on the accessories. A rifle, looks like a pistol. Pretty light though, but soft goods. Even the soft goods look like they're a little tattered. They're a little dirty. Good looking figures. Again, here you can see that there is some paint, a little more paint weathering on this guy, on the pouches, on the boots, on the knee pads. He looks pretty good. Again with the tubes. Not bad. This Project Black Box. So I think everything this year that they've put up for pre-order, all those vehicles that they did, and now these figures, they've all been a part of this Project Black Box, I think. My guess is the Project Black Box is a new manufacturer, so they're starting with some plain figures as a test. The green one looks more finished to me, but the other 2 black ones seem pretty plain on the decos. They do. I like them, though. I do like them. This was the one I actually like the best, and he has pretty much no paint. He's a solid black figure. I think they were trying to show here that they've now incorporated, which they always had, like a butterfly joint, but maybe they've improved it. I'm not sure why they put that there, because they've never done that before. Well, I can't say they've never, but they didn't do it for the other 2 figures. And then they show this kind of a, and if I went back, and I think that that was what Kit was trying to show in some of these photos, that they've updated the hips a little bit. so that they can sit a little easier. And he was kind of showing that off here in this picture. I'm not quite sure. But this was the one I was actually most interested in. The soft good one, the other ones, they look really good too. But I think this was the one. I love army building, so I saw this and I instantly thought that I wanted 10 of them. And I thought, well, there's no paint. He's pretty light on accessories. He comes with one rifle. Maybe they'll be cheap enough that I can do that, and I could do this. This is what I want to do. I want to do this with almost every figure. But I went to Pia Club. I put them in my cart. Went to check out, and two of them was shipping was over $80, guys, over $80 for two figures. So I did not get any of these. I wanted to get this one, but I couldn't do it. It's just too expensive. It's just too much. The shipping, because I think this one was $30, which is less than most Acid Rain, especially a brand new one. But the shipping, it for me just not doable right now. I did do some pre-orders, and we'll talk about them as we go through the news here. But I couldn't do this one. I couldn't do this. I wanted to, but I could not. If they would have been, I think they were 31 actually. I think they were 31 or 32, which again is cheaper than their normal figures. But I think if they would have been in the 20 to 25 range, I might have almost done it, but not at the over 30. I just can't do it. Not even for one. I thought about it, but it's just not worth it to pay that shipping and get it here. I just couldn't do it. So I passed on all three of these. I passed on all three. Did any of you guys pre-order any of these? I also went to Calcus because Calcus had these up as well, and the price was the same. There was neither. They were so close. They were both in the 80s for two figures. I just couldn't do it. I just bumped into Kit Lau on the waterfront in front of my building. Really? He looked like he was with his wife, so I didn't bother. Really? That's cool. Someone said those are butterfly joints and drop down hips. Yeah, and I was looking at the Cinder Immortal and the Cinder Invader, who I still have out here. They're probably the two of the newest Acid Rain figures I have. And they have the butterfly. It's not. I mean, maybe he improved it. Maybe he made it even better. They definitely don't have the drop down hips though. I know that. But the butterfly, their butterfly has always been, I think, the best butterfly joint at 118, better than Haya's. And Joy Toy doesn't do them that often or do them very much. But maybe he's improved it. But I had to pass. I had to pass on all these. I do my armies through Photoshop. Nice. Nice. Usually I stick to two figures unless they're $10 or less. Yeah, I couldn't do it this time, guys. I couldn't do it. I don't get those figures due to price, but I do look at them for potential custom ideas. Yeah, and I it's hard to tell because they do have some of the soft goods on. I think these mostly use the same buck. I think. I can't tell enough because they're covered up a bit. Definitely, have different paint and come with different, soft goods and things. This one looks way more painted up, like Jeff was saying. This one seems to be kind of more what we're used to with the paint apps. You can see here these pouches right here look really, really good, paint app wise. But then you got this figure, which it seems to have none, like zero. So good looking figures, not ones that I could pre-order this time. I did have to pass on them. Maybe in the future I'll look to get one or two, but at this moment in time I could not. To me, they look more proportioned. They might be. And the one of the things that I've seen, and we've talked about it a little bit in the Acid Rain group that I'm on Instagram. Well, I've read them talking about it, is we haven't really got an updated. We have though, but like a brand new buck, the Cinder Immortal. You know, he like any line, he kit bashes, just like Hasbro and everyone else. But these seem to be. It's hard to tell, but they seem to be new. You know, and like you said, maybe the proportions are a little bit better. Um, Maybe that drop down hip is new. So a little update to the line. Always up for updates, and the price, the price point, you know, it being 31 instead of 41 or 50 in some cases. Um, it's nice. It's nice. Maybe more people would be inclined to try it. I like the trench coat guy and the tubes from the mask, but I'm bored of dark figures with no color. I want things to pop on my shelf. Well, then I think you're gonna love this guy, Jeff. Now, here's the boss fight stuff. Uh, the boss fight. We've talked about this last show. I think the very next day, right? They uh, dropped this figure. It's in stock. You can order it right now. They're shipping. Then you got the Goblin Ransacker, the Vitruvian Hacks, the last figure. Well, it looks like maybe from that wave that we just got. Tech was mentioning earlier, he got the Berzagi, which I also have. Um, the Goblin Ransacker. Here we go. So I have to admit, I don't love the colors. Um, Jeff just mentioned he wants something to pop on your shelf. I think this guy will pop on your shelf. He's almost like a neon green skin tone, purple outfit. Um, I prefer more realistic figures, and the Vitruvian Hacks, I want to say they were more realistic. We're talking fantasy here, so it's obviously it's not realistic, but this looks more to me like their dinosaur line, the colors that they were using in their dinosaur line, the 6-inch dinosaur line. He does look good. We know this is that new buck that they have um, in their parts library. Looks like probably a new head, couple new head sculpts. I don't care for the color. For me, if it would have been more of a realistic, darker color, I probably would have went after this. But I passed on this one. I did. I was going to probably anyways. But I could always get roped in. You can always rope me in. You know, you can always give me that FOMO. But I saw the colors on this guy and I was put back a little bit because it's just not for me. Did any of you guys decide to pick this up? If you did, you probably have it already because it was, you know, they put it up. It was shipping that day if you went in and got it. Not loving the head sculpt. Yeah, me either. Mostly the skin tone. The goblin head looks weird. Yeah. Yeah, and they give you two of them. I'd get him for customs. I like the outfit color. Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah. Like Jeff, you like the colors. I agree. That's why I didn't pick this one up. Oh, okay. So you're in my boat. Yeah, I don't care for the color. This one pops, but maybe too much. Maybe too much pop. I like to see someone give the goblin a dark wash. Yeah, and I guess someone like Pirates or Bjorn, probably Ian, you guys probably could do that pretty easy to this. Um, but someone like me that doesn't paint a lot, uh, that's a step I'm probably not gonna go. He does have a sword, which is a plus. Yeah, he has a sword and a knife. I think the torch is pretty cool. You see they've got him set up a couple different ways here. But yeah, he's got the torch. You can have it lit or unlit. Uh, Maybe a dagger and maybe a sword. They look pretty cool. And then the two heads. I definitely like this one more, the with the little hat on. Um, but I'm just not thrilled about the colors. And I hope that was the only thing about the Berzagi that I didn't like was out of the three head sculpts, one of them was a little bit too cartoony, like this guy. The other two I liked. They were a little bit more realistic as you can get with a big orc king. Um, but this is not. This is another one I passed on, which I probably was anyways. I probably was going to anyways. Um, The only boss fight I've bought recently were blanks. Won't be buying any more boss fights until I get Red Sonia. Yeah, which is, we haven't heard much about that after that delay. In this photo, the color looks nice. The final version maybe is too neon and glossy. Yeah, that green definitely looks like this, like the glow in the dark type neon green. Here it looks a little darker, doesn't it? Uh, you know, if anyone has it in hand, you know, maybe there's something that's, the lighting, how they're shooting it. But this was a pass for me. I only got two head sculpts. Oh yeah. Oh, cause well yeah, they threw the other two in a bag that was in the box. Are you sure it wasn't in there loose? Cause my those extra heads were loose in the box. Like they added it in or threw it in later. Or maybe it was because I pre-ordered it. I'm not sure if you pre-ordered yours. That's too bad. Sorry about that. Oh, now that the last slide makes it look better. Yeah, see, and maybe that's just. I don't know if this is just a rendering or if this is probably a digital rendering. This might be a Photoshop, like Pirates was talking about. I don't know if this is a real photo. But I grabbed these off of their web page, off the store. But yeah, this was a pass for me. I was talking about the light color in the background. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just it's just not for me. No extra heads. Oh man, that sucks, man. I'm sorry. That must have been like a reward for us or something. They never said that they did that. And I ordered, I had two of them and they both came with it. So four extra heads. Man, that's too bad, Tech. Sorry about that. Yeah, boss fight. Another. eh, but let's say so this year after going how long with no figures from boss fights, we got five now already this year, and we're in February. Or no, we're not February. We're in March. This is the first show of March. You see how far behind I am. Um, but we've already gotten five figures from boss fight this year, which is their biggest output in a long time at 118, I would say. So the irony is there. All right. Apparently, Buzzoggy Extra Head was only an extra for people who pre-ordered from them directly. Oh man, did not know that. Wow, did they? I don't remember them saying that in the initial pre-order, but you know that's too bad. I bet more people would have ordered from them if they would have known that. But that's too bad. All right, let's move on to the next bit of news here. And this was from Bjorn. Bjorn, shout out to Bjorn. He sent me these pictures. I think these were at ZoloCon. I'm not quite sure. He could chime in where he got these, but he sent these to me. These look like two new Marauders Gunrunners figures that'll be out this summer. We've got the Aqua Ops Hero and the Aqua Ops Villain. So two new figures, both underwater figures, both scuba divers or like ops. What do they say? Aqua Ops. Cool looking figures. They'll be here soon. It looks like they'll be up. Don't, as far as I know, there's not a pre-order. These are gonna just come up, I believe, and you'll be able to order them. But we've got two figures. They look like figures that you might know. Cobra Eel and the Navy SEAL, and I knew his name, and we were talking about it, Bjorn. The Navy SEAL on the GI Joe's wetsuit, who I never liked in the cartoon. I never liked him. He was really arrogant. Love the scuba dive. Yep, ZoloCon. Yeah, so they must have showed these off at ZoloCon. Thank you, Bjorn, for sending these to me. They look pretty good though, and I don't know the price or anything, but I would assume that they are a better deal than the Hyatt GI Joe Cobra Eel, um, which was in the 30 something now, and with shipping and it's Hyatt, so it's not easy to get. This might be that alternative if you're looking for that. and then you also get the hero wetsuit, aka Wetsuit, I think was his name, from the Joe team. So two new Marauders figures. We love Marauders. You guys that customize, I know that you guys have Marauders. I know you guys buy Marauders. Everyone, I think everyone's dabbled a little bit. Probably the deepest accessory library at 118 that there is, like, available to purchase. If you want a helmet, you want a vest, you want a weapon, you want a dog, you want anything, you want a ladder, you want a table, chairs. They've got everything, and it looks like they're also going to have these two figures coming up this summer. Let's see. I'm sorry, I should have jumped in here. No, it seems like a surprise add-on. I don't mind the idea, but they should tell people ahead of time. I just hope the boss fights start bringing out the cosmic stuff. Yeah, I love the scuba figures, Zolokon. I'm excited for the boss fight reveal their next mixed wave theme with sci-fi. Yeah, these new Marauder figures do look good. Call him Newport. That's right. That's what Bjorn was saying. He's the color of the Newport cigarettes box. I had heard that Marauders has underwater and space lines already designed, so I guess this means underwater's up next. Okay, Wetsuit was annoying in the cartoon. Look forward to these. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He was a hothead, and he always ended up saying sorry at the end. Those scuba suits would be great for space. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Just like I thought with the eel, could easily pop a dome head on this guy, a bubble helmet, and either one of them, and you got space guys. Marauders even makes 118 cigarette packs. That's right. They pretty much, they've got everything, man. And even the guys that like the World War II stuff, they've got the World War II stuff, Vietnam stuff here. So yeah, these look really good. Thanks, Bjorn, for sending these over. Will Rocket, how are you? Rocket Will, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you out there. Hope all is well. All right, so kind of sticking with the independent toy maker guys, we mentioned these guys the last two shows. They've given us stuff to talk about, and that is the Dime Novel Legends Chicken Fried Toys line, the Cowboys, the Indians. But I mentioned this in the last show. They've been showing the Native Americans that are going to eventually be up for pre-order, but they haven't talked about the Kickstarter. I think since Thanksgiving, or for you guys, November of last year, November, maybe Christmas around December. So it's been a few months. I wasn't worried or anything, but I was just curious, what the status of the Kickstarter is. And then a few days later, I saw they posted on their Facebook page this picture of the Cobras from the Kickstarter. And I can't remember. I know I got a couple of the Dragoons and a couple of the horses. I don't think I got these guys, but it's nice to see them. I think these were paint masters or test shots. I didn't write it down, but one of those. But they look pretty good. I don't know if any of you guys, I think some of you supported this last Kickstarter that they had last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year. But they're finally kind of showing us something. They haven't talked too much about it for a while now. But they've been showing us the Native Americans that look great. It was nice to see a couple more of the figures from the Kickstarter getting closer to fruition. Pinker, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Ace reporter Bjorn is on the case. Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. These two are from the Kickstarter. They look cool. Yeah, they look cool. These look good. I like the blue and the black together, and the scarves give a nice splash of red. I pledged for one on the right. Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, I think I like the one on the right a little bit better. Hi, Pirates. I will. Rocket will. Yeah, I think I like the lower body of the one on the right and the upper body of the one on the left. Like that, put those two together, that would have probably been better for me. But I think I do prefer the one on the right as well. You can see what they come with. Looks like a hat, pistol, rifle, and a holster and belt. So looks like they're getting closer, but we'll know more soon. I'm sure they're gonna. It's we haven't seen the horses yet. Um, I have a lot of stuff on pre-order with them right now. The Ron Rudat, the Not Long Ranger, the Texas Ranger. Um, like I mentioned, the Kickstarter. I think I got a horse or two, and the Dragoons. So got a lot of stuff tied up with these guys. I know they're going to come through. Um, but it was nice to see. Nice for an update. Always nice to get an update. I kind of want these because they're blue. Yeah, they look good. They look good, and hopefully we'll hear more. We'll hear more soon. I could buy both and swap the torsos. Yeah, there you go. Buy another army builder and diversify. Yeah, and eventually these will be up, so they'll be available. The ones that I didn't get, I can't remember what I actually got, except I remember the Dragoons, and I think I got 2 horses and 2 Dragoons and somebody else. Oh, the guy in all white, I think. I forget his name. But yeah, looking forward to this Kickstarter coming through or fulfilling. Hopefully this year. That might be a stretch. But we'll see. We'll see. I only pre-orders I have are with Eagle Force. Yeah, and I didn't put that in here. I did get and Bjorn, we talked about this. I did get the email from Big Bad saying that the Sergeant Bananas, the white suited astronaut, they did tell me that those ones were about to charge. Luckily not the other 9 that I pre-ordered, just that one. So maybe, and I pre-ordered him before all those other ones, so I'm wondering if maybe they will get staggered. Because once I saw that email from them, I was like, where's the other ones? And I never got any other ones. It's been about a week now, but they're getting close. They're getting close. All right, and then this also came from Bjorn. Bjorn sent me a link to this guy's page. Is G.I. Joe Forever, who I was not following on Instagram, and so I did. I followed him, and I tried to use Instagram the last show, and then again I tried to use it for Wilhelm's show. I have not used Instagram in so long, and I tried to use it for the Berzagi. I guess you can only use 3 hashtags now or something, and I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, that it had completely changed, and I found that I wasn't following some people I thought I was. I noticed that my following thing, it had jumped around, and it gives you like analytics now. Like it was completely different. I felt like I hadn't been away from it that long, but apparently I had. But anyways, G.I. Joe Forever. I ended up following this guy. Bjorn sent me this, so thank you again. Shout out to Bjorn. But I guess the Dime Novel Legends, Chicken Fried Toys, they were at ZoloCon, and I think that's where these are from, these pictures. And we've seen these before, but I felt like we should talk about them again because this line looks really, really cool. And the Dime Novel Legends guys, we got to drum up some marketing for them. We have to be kind of, support them if we want these lines to happen. So this is my part right here is talking about it, showing these off again, because these are quite good. These are even better photos, I think, than I had last time. But we've got what would be, I guess, the next wave or 2 of Cops and Crooks figures. We've only gotten 1 so far. There's a lot of characters they can do from this IP. So here's hoping that they get them, because some of them look really cool, like this Bullet guy right here. Let's see. Major Coco. Yes, it was Major Coco. That's his name. I said Sergeant Bananas. I think that's an Instagram guy. I think that's a Phantom Rider. Might be the all white from the GML. Yeah, I think that's his name. You're right. Yeah. I want those Blade Runner type blasters. These guys here? They have a Not Lone Ranger. Yeah, I did pre-order that and not Lone Ranger guy. Looks like these will be 2-packs. Is that what you think from these? Yeah, it could be. Um, hadn't thought about that. Let's see. Yeah, it could be, huh? Yeah, they look good though. They look really good, and these can like, your sci-fi stuff, your modern or military stuff. These look like they could fit in. You could just Cops and Crooks. You're a Cops and Crooks fan. They look really good, and to be honest, I like all of them. I don't really see one I go, oh, I could pass on that one. I think I would get probably, one of each. And any of these could be army builders if you chose to. Did bullets steal Bullet Man's helmet? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Custom fodder, yeah. Yeah, they would. Um, that's my guess about the 2-packs. Not sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure. They, yeah, I don't know how they do theirs, right? Because that last one, it was just one figure, but it looked like he mostly used parts that they already had, right? But these might have to be completely new. So I don't know. But they do, when you look at them like these two, they look like they use a lot of the same parts. So maybe that's why, right? Maybe that is why. Like this guy, this top of this vest looks like the top of this vest. Maybe you're probably right, Jeff. You're probably right. It does say, oh, right here on the side it says assortment 2, assortment 1. Yeah, that's probably a good guess, Jeff. That's probably a good guess. I hadn't thought that through. But they all look really good. There's a not Kurt Russell maybe right there. This guy looks like he's from Dick Tracy. McBoom Boom, Buttons McBoom Boom. Oh, that's the next slide. But yeah, these look really good. I hope this line actually makes it to the light of day. I always wonder, if they don't have, because this happened right with Boss Fight, like with some of the IPs that they've had, the Phantom, the Flash Gordon, the Tarzan, Bucky O'Hare. They only have the IP, I think, for a few years, and then they have to renew it. So I think that means they have to pay again, or new contracts. It's been a long time for these Cops and Crooks. I'm not sure, if they don't get these done here soon. If is it inevitably going to go away, or is it just eventually they will be here? I don't really know, but I want all these figures. They all look great to me. 2-figure waves could be. But yeah, this guy looks like a little bit like Leatherneck, the G.I. Joe Leatherneck, the old school kind of Marine hat, even though that's more of a police cap. When I saw this, I thought, oh, that looks like Leatherneck. But I'm assuming the colors of these, I don't know Cops and Crooks. I never watched Cops and Crooks as a kid. I knew what it was, but I never got to watch it or anything. I never had any of the toys. What's really drawn me to this is that it's in scale. And I know I could use these for lots of different things, mostly in my sci-fi and my world. Because even their weapons, they're like a cross, like that's like it looks like almost like a Tommy gun. It looks like a little bit different, but it is. These are just like revolvers, but a little bit fancier. Looks like a shotgun. Yeah, I don't know much about it, but they look good. I really like the designs. I hope this line makes it. I don't know how far along. I feel like we've seen these pictures, I'd say quite a bit now. But we haven't seen any pre-orders. We haven't seen the test shots. We haven't seen any colored Photoshop renderings. Hopefully it makes it to the light of day. And thank you, Bjorn, for sending these to me. I would have missed it. I never even knew who that guy was, but now I'm following him. Kind of retro sci-fi mashup. It's cool. Can use some cops from a sci-fi dios. Yeah, definitely. All right. So this next bit of news got this off of the Hub, the 118 Premium Hub on Facebook. Uh, Nation 3.75. I think I mentioned him one of the other shows. I'm not sure who he is or where he's from. Maybe he's here. I've noticed that people their names aren't the same on the Facebook thing as they are here. Some of you guys are, some aren't. So maybe he's here. But shout out to him if he is. But he posted that these figures were up for order, not pre-order. They're up right now on Walmart's website. There are 375 figures called Armorosaurs. Armorosaurs? Yeah, Armorosaurs. I think I'm Armorosaurus. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But they are 375, I think 118. I did go and order the red one and the blue one. They're $10. I had to go look what this was. I didn't know what they were. They look cool though. They have a YouTube channel, and I think it's in collaboration association with Disney Channel, because they're also feature their videos on the Disney Channel, but they have their own channel. And I watched the trailer, or like the opening. It's like a cross between like Power Rangers and Voltron, if that makes sense. And then I was thinking about when my son was really small, we used to watch Dino Trucks. I don't know if you know what that is. I don't even think it's around anymore. He was really big in the Dino Trucks. But this was like some amalgamation of those Voltron, Power Rangers, and in my mind, the Dino Truck stuff. But looks like there's a whole wave of figures. They also are like dinosaurs. They come with tons of stuff. And I think you could see here the figure has like ports on his buck, and you can put parts and pieces on him and configure him in different ways. Were you guys aware of any of this stuff? I like to see some color pics to get the idea of the color scheme. Yeah, for the Cops and Crooks, or maybe assortment means two figure waves, kind of retro sci-fi mashup. They don't blow my skirt up. Yeah, my Facebook has my government name. Same. Okay. Yeah, mine is Tony Creek. If you look at me, I think Jabalong's my only friend on there. Nobody wanted to be my friend. No, I'm kidding. But no, Tony Creek, if you, I haven't commented or anything. I have liked a couple times, a couple things, but I made it just so I can join that hub, that page. But if you're out there, if you find me, I'll definitely accept your friendship. But yeah, these are cool. They're only $10. There might be a lot of custom fodder here for someone if you're into that. They come in red, yellow, orange, blue. I think there's a black or white one. But this is the packaging, what it looks like. They do have if you're interested at all in watching the show, it's on YouTube. If you just look up Armorosaurus, take you right there. That's what I did. This is the back of the package. It kind of shows you how to, what it gets with, how to put them on, the parts and pieces. I guess there's some modularity here, some customizing. Something different, something new. Price point is good. I'm guessing that because they're on the Walmart website, these will be at brick and mortar. Maybe you might be able to find these just by walking in. Maybe you need to see them in person before you'll commit to getting them. So I would just be on the lookout for them. They look all right to me. Like I said, I ordered the red one and the blue one. It was $20 for two figures. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll do a video on them. But I might. I just might. Here's the blue one. He looks like he's on a different buck. He's a little bit beefier. So this was one of the ones I got. I got this guy. Armor system. Oh, there's the Disney symbol right there. And then it says Roblox here. So maybe that it's something to do with Roblox. I have no idea. I don't know what the kids watch anymore. My son mostly watches Star Trek and that kind of stuff now. He's 16. So I got this guy, the red guy. And I got the blue guy, and then there's a yellow, looks like a female. And then this looks like the wave here, 2, 4, there's 6 figures. They didn't have this guy on the end who I think might look the best. I'm guessing maybe he's a bad guy. I don't know. By his color scheme, I thought maybe he's a bad guy. I don't know. But he's got a trench coat. He's got a big old machine gun or something right there. But when I went to Walmart, they did not have all of them up. They were missing this purple one in the middle. I think he's purple and black, and the one on the end in black and white with the gun. They were not there. The other 4 were, but to try them out, I just grabbed the blue one and the red one. Oh, they're at Target too. Okay, yeah. And at $10, at $10, it might be worth. If you custom fodder, or whatever. I don't know what the articulation's quite like. It's a little bit hard to tell in these pictures. I'm guessing they don't have an ankle, but maybe they do. Looks like they've got ball jointed hips though. Knees, elbows, shoulders. I'm guessing a head, neck, because all of the heads are kind of turned different ways. Maybe nothing in the waist. It's hard to tell. Is it DRC Taylor 66? I think that's what that is. I think all of the EF figures are dropping this month. Make sure your card is ready. Yes, the Eagle Force. Welcome to the channel, or to the stream, I should say. Yeah, they're dropping. They're coming. Get ready. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at my bills. I'm moving stuff around. I had put aside a chunk of money, and I'm getting ready. And they can't come soon enough, man. I can't wait to get all them in hand. I really want that army builder. He's like yellow and green. I forget his name now, but that was the one I was most looking forward to. All right, but this is a new line. This is a new 375118 line. Looks like it's going to be at Brick and Mortar. Bob's saying they're at Target. I picked up 2 on the Walmart's website. So keep an eye out. Might be something to, you might want to check it out. Maybe you just want one. They're $10. Might be worth trying, especially when they come with all this stuff that you may or may not be able to use for different custom stuff. Looks like they attach on to attaching and attaching and attaching. It looks like a lot of ports and a lot of plug and play type stuff. Maybe you just want the head sculpts. Maybe you want the buck. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. It was new. Something to try. Most all toy building is on pause for me until Eagle Force. Yeah. I'm most looking forward to the shield looking Eagle Force guy. Yeah. Yeah, that guy looked great. I know. I did get a couple of those too. Yeah, man. It's going to be tough to beat Eagle Force this year when they all get here. I'm already thinking about my, the line of the year type thing, my favorite line of the year. It's going to be tough to beat them. All right, next, a bit of news. Space General Brown. Picked up a couple more of him too. Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, I missed him the first go around. I'm glad that they got a second chance at that one. I regretted not getting him last time. All right. Bjorn mentioned this to me, and I had seen it on the hub. Patrick Chan was, I think, the first to kind of post it, and then Bjorn was like, "Hey, did you see this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I saw that. That's great." Last show, Joy Toy. We're moving into the more of the higher end stuff now, guys. This is the more expensive stuff, the more articulated, more everything, more money, everything. This is more. That's what they want from us, right? So we're going to talk a little Joy Toy here for a second. Looks like maybe one of the new lines that they mentioned in our last show. I forget his name now, but the owner, president of the Joy Toy said, "Hey, we've got all these new IPs coming," and then they announced this one. So this, I guess, I can't remember, was it 6 or 7 new lines, or 6 or 7 new IPs, I should say. And then they dropped this one, The Outcast, a 1/18 scale figure collaboration. This is their official announcement. I didn't know much about this. I really didn't. But for this show, I had to go look, kind of figure out what is the Outcast. I don't know what this is, um, but it's Joy Toy, so I'm always interested. I love Joy Toy. Um, let's see. Eagle Force and Marauders are going to keep me busy for a bit. Yeah, thanks. He does look great. Looks forward. Coco too. Yeah, he's got too much stuff. Yeah, we're entering my favorite toy. Yeah, we are. We're going to talk Joy Toy here for a sec. Hey everyone, Sentinel MCR, how are you doing? Were you guys early? Or you guys have time? We had the time change. We had the time change. Don't worry, we're getting to the best part. I think we're getting to the best part of the show. This is like I said, I think we're getting into the higher end stuff. That's kind of how I set this up. If you're still here, thank you for staying this long. And higher end, I mean more expensive, more articulation, more everything. So we're talking Joy Toy. We're talking the Outcast. I think this is one of their new IPs of the 6 or 7 that they announced that they're going to be having this year. Didn't know what this was. Looked it up. It is some kind of an anime from around 2016. I think it obviously was very popular. I think it's on Crunchyroll. My wife has a subscription to Crunchyroll. I'll have to ask her about if she's watched this. But they showed this render here with these 1, 2, 3, 4, these 5 characters, and then they also put up these 2 slides as well with those 5 characters. Again, it looks like it's from 2016. It must be very popular. I don't know if it's still going. It might be. There's some brief descriptions here if you want to read them. It said something like zombies and a sword wielding girl. That was what I took when I read all the stuff on the Crunchyroll description. Zombies and a sword wielding girl, and I said, okay, I'm in. Not big on zombies, but I'm big on the sword wielding girl. And this looks like a because I don't know much about it. It's almost like a cross to me between like a fantasy stuff and real modern day stuff. I don't know what to think of it yet, but I wanted to talk about it. Have any of you seen this show or know what this? Did you know what this was before Joy Toy talked about it? I have no idea what Outcast is, but I'm happy about the custom potential. Yeah. The IP looks more for the Chinese market. These might be larger and more cartoony figures. We'll see. Hope they won't be too big. You talking King of Fighters too big? I'm checking the comic and they look like people. Yeah, they just look. That's what I mean. They look like they could just be people, or like maybe this girl, or is that a girl? Yeah, I think that's a girl on the bottom, or like this girl, or is that no? That's a guy on the bottom. They could be like fantasy, medieval, samurai, ninja type looking people for your fantasy stuff. But the guy with the suit, yeah. But yeah, right. They could be the more cartoony. That might be not realistic. They could be King of Fighters 118 Joy Toy, King of Fighters 118 scale, which is not 118 scale. We don't know. Interesting though, zombies, girl with the sword. Sounds interesting. But you're right. It's probably really popular overseas. I mean, not in the United States, or maybe it is really popular in the United States. I don't know. I really don't. Never seen the show. Never play Outcast either. But I'm excited for all these. Yeah, me too. Interesting stuff. I apparently this is the first of this 6, 7 IPs that they've announced that we're gonna hear about here soon. Here's hoping that there's more and maybe I'll recognize one of them. I don't know. But we'll see. When I clicked on this on Patrick Chan's post on the hub, this here, when I think I clicked on his name or I clicked on something, or maybe it was the pictures, it took me he also embedded this in the description. And this is from Damn Toys, Ling Cage, Incarnation. And I think, because it says October 2nd, 25, I think I missed this, and that's why I want to talk about it now. I think I missed this because I wasn't on the hub yet, or I had just got to the hub, and I still don't understand Facebook. I'm still trying to figure out Facebook. But I don't think I ever talked about this. I might have. I didn't remember, so I wanted to talk about it now. It's a new 118 scale line from Damn Toys. It's another IP Ling Cage incarnation that I've never heard of, but thought we'd talk about it. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. I had to look it up. What is Ling Cage incarnation? It's a sci-fi action animation in a world reshaped by disaster. That was what the description was when I looked at it. It almost looks like this girl here with the short hair, like Final Fantasy or something to me. I don't know. But they had these at the Shanghai Wonder Festival late last year. I don't think we talked about these. We might have. I don't remember. But these also kind of look anime, like their proportions. I don't know who Damn Toys is. I don't know where these companies get these names either. Uh, it must mean something else, probably someone's last name. But Damn Toys. Shout out to Ben and that Damn Figure Show if he's out there. But yeah, they have these. Looks like another 118 line. Maybe we'll see these this year. Haven't heard anything else about them. He did, like I said, he embedded this in the link to that Joy Toy one, and I think he was probably saying, "Here's another anime show that they're making figures of." I think that was the point of why he was doing that. But I missed this one, or I just don't remember it, so I wanted to talk about it. Are any of you guys familiar with this one? I like the look of these different from just more military figures. True, yeah, Live Under a Rock when it comes to anime. Yeah, me too. The bike looks great. Yeah, that bike does look awesome, doesn't it? Yeah, might be worth just grabbing the bike. And it's kind of hard to tell, this robot guy looks like from Fallout, the robot guy in Fallout. No idea. Yeah. It's nice to see more Chinese companies jumping into 118. It is. It is. I saw this last fall, but never heard of Damn Toys. Yeah. So yeah, apparently October. I missed it. Like I said, I don't know. I can't remember when I joined the hub. I think I was around. I think I did join the hub around October 25, but I probably missed it. I probably just missed it. But yeah, I'm wondering too if this sort of scene here, this setup that they have, this diorama, I wonder if that will also be available. Because I like that just as much. I might even like it's hard to tell with the figures, because you can't really tell what the articulation is or anything. But I like this setup. I wouldn't mind a diorama piece like this for photos or just to sit on the shelf to set up stuff. Uh, but it looks cool. Thought I would talk about it. We'll keep an eye on this. I'm sure eventually it will come to light, and then we'll be able to talk more about the figures and you know if we're gonna get them, if we like them, if we don't, why or why not. But it could be cool to look at. But again, it said a sci-fi action animation world reshaped by disaster. So sounds like another apocalyptic type thing. All right. Next bit of news. This came. We talked about this last week. We talked about our last show. So the last couple shows, this stuff has kind of inched closer and closer. And I saw this guy. He's up for pre-order now, along with the Army Builder guy. These guys are up for pre-order on Gundamit. If you're interested, you can go to Gundamit. Just search Highway to Chaos or like pre-orders, and this guy will pop up. We talked about him the last show. This is Zed. It looks like he's already up. It looks like this line has moved forward. We talked about it, and now it's happening. Estefano, this guy right here, he posted this on the hub, so shout out to him. It looks like we're gonna get these figures, man. I did pre-order this guy. Gundam, it was only taking deposits right now. You don't have to pay for it. I think it was like a $3 deposit. So I put $3 on this figure without really knowing what he's going to cost. So hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass later. Probably should have looked at that before I put the deposit. But I'm diehard, right? I make mistakes all the time. Got too much stuff. But here we go. Trophy, Zed Griffin. Looks like one of the big baddies from this line. When I saw this pick, I was like, he's like a cross between like Freddy Krueger and like Wolverine with the claws, with the hands. But then he's also kind of like the devil. He's just, he looks great though, but you could see here, we could see the articulation in some of these photos now. He looks like he's got a butterfly joint. I think that's what that is there. He's got a ball joint at the wrist. Lots of sculpt. They do show off some of the accessories here, or you could kind of figure out through the pictures what we've got here. This is from Tequila Toys, Tequila Highway to Chaos. They tease these. They've been teasing these for about a month now, a little bit, maybe more than a month. Here's the back of the figure. Looks like he's got some kind of like, maybe they're like braids or dreadlocks. Maybe they're braids. He's got like the fifth head with horns. I mean, he's evil. He is an evil looking dude. I don't think he could have jaw articulation. It's hard to tell. It is a little difficult to tell. But he looks really good. We got modern, realistic, kind of zombie. He looks like he's got like robot legs. In this picture, you can see he doesn't have those claw fingers. He does have the big knife and an open hand and like a gripping hand. So more to this picture, there's that big sword, that big knife. And it looks like that he does come with it. It looks like it's right here. So I'm guessing you're going to have a couple interchangeable hands. It looks like he's got a pistol, got the sword. So I'm guessing sword, gun, extra pair of hands. Big guy. He looks like he's going to be big. Saw us fall, but never. Oh, Nightmarish, old friend of the channel, Mark would like this one. Yeah. World's finest. Is he a Demarine? I don't know what that is. Demonarine? I don't know what that is. Yeah, he's scary looking. But I put the $3 deposit. The only place I've seen him. And I think it was someone, I should have grabbed it. Someone in the post for this, I think, said, someone asked, where can I pre-order? It said Gundam. So I went there and there they were. So shout out to that guy. But yeah, I picked this one up, but I didn't put the photos in it. But the black army builder, the one that we've looked at several times, he is also up for pre-order. But again, you have to, it's a deposit. Like $3 a figure. I think it was $3 a figure, a deposit. You pay it now and guarantees you a figure. Looks like the sketch from a teenage in the best ways. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I usually don't like things like this, but he looks like a scary alien to me. And if he's oversized, he's going to look good. He looks like he could fight my turtles, my Joy Toy turtles. Yeah, he looks good. He looks really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Again, looks like a double knee, double elbow. Can't really tell with the ankle. Think it's pretty obvious he has some kind of a waist articulation. So it looks like a diaphragm. So it looks like this is all modern. This is an all modern figure, modern articulation, modern sensibilities. The pistol looks a lot bigger in this picture than in some of the other ones. Looks like he's going to come with the sword, the gun, extra set of hands. Something to look out for. I will be getting him. Don't know when though. But maybe eventually we'll have him here on the channel. He looks cool, but not for you. Yeah, it's not going to be for everybody. I think the the visual, he's pretty off-putting, isn't he? Uh, he's like a demon, you know. This is I don't for me like this isn't one I would leave out that I want to walk in my room in the middle of the night and have looking back at me. Uh, but I do want him. I do want him, and he looks pretty good. Okay, and we're getting here to the last bit of the news here. Um, we got the altered nano stuff. I saw the Awesome Action Toys. Shout out to Adam if he's out there. He had recently done a review on the AN03 Sloop. They have now put up for pre-order the AN04 and the AN05, the Delta Ring, and the Night Veil. Um, Bob, you probably I think don't these have something to do with an '80s line? I'm freezing up. I forgot. But these are super articulated figures. I tried to get the Delta Ring, the 04 on Big Bad, but it had sold out. So I got the 04 Delta Ring, this guy, on Entertainment Earth. And then I saw later on the 05, the Night Veil, which we'll get to here in a second. I've got the photos all together. He is on Big Bad right now. Um, they're expensive, but they're like Takari, right? Is it Takari? Takara. So they look pretty cool, super articulated. Um, come with some good accessories. These could be army builders. These could be single one-off characters, bounty hunter robots, androids. Very very cool looking. Like I said, I wanted to get this guy a long time ago, but he had sold out, and then I eventually saw that he was on Entertainment Earth, so I grabbed him, and then I just so happened to see that the other one came up on Toy News International. Said, "Oh look, here's this new Altered Nano," and I went, and that one was up on Big Bad, so I grabbed that one. So I've got this guy and the other guy, one each, because they are a little bit on the expensive side. Um, but very cool looking. Almost look kind of Terminator-ish. Supposed to be a redesign of Microman. That's what it was. Yeah, Microman. Yeah, I don't know how I sometimes I just cannot remember stuff. I like the green guy, but maybe too pricey for me. Yeah, so there's this guy. This is the 04, the Delta guy. You can see here comes with the rifle. I don't know if that's a backpack or like a flying jetpack. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But very cool looking. I like the paint. I think the face looks really cool. That looks really good. I think that's why I'm thinking it looks kind of Terminator-ish, because he's almost like that liquid Terminator. That silver kind of metal there, that chrome vac metal look. Because it does look like he has a little bit of, I don't know if it is though. Maybe these match. But he looks really cool. It's on the higher end of the cost. But it looks like he could pose, he could do anything. When I saw this photo, I was like, man, I want 3 of them. Not knowing what they cost or anything. Then I went there and I saw what they cost, and I got 1. But I saw this and I thought, man, that'd be cool to get a squad of 3 of these guys. I like the green guy. Are these model kits like the 3 minutes? I don't think so. Just was the price a little too rich for me? Yeah, I think they were, and the price is different on Big Bad and Entertainment Earth. I think they were more expensive on Big Bad, but the shipping's only $4 if you put it in your pile of loot, where the figure was cheaper on Entertainment Earth, but with the shipping it would make it cost more. So I used Big Bad for the other one. But I had to get the first one on Entertainment Earth because they were the only place I could find it. The Destro face, yeah, it does. It very Destro. That's a good call, yeah. So there's this guy. This is the 05 or the 04, and then this is the 05, and you can see very similar, different backpacks, a few different accessories here. The Buck, again, very similar, not quite the same. didn't have a good as close up on this one, and this one is almost like a not a human face, but more like a shield face. And I think he has is it little fins on his leg? Yeah, there they are. And that was in the accessories there. These little fins here that seem to pop into his calf, the back of his calf there. Different backpack. So same sort of color scheme. Maybe this one's a little bit more blue, a little brighter blue. It's a little more of a matte blue. But instead of getting like I wanted 3 of the other ones, I thought I get one of this one, and if the one that Adam talked about, Awesome Action Toys, the O3, the Sloop, if I ever find that one, if I could get it, that would be the 3. I'll have a squad. I'll have one of each. But because they're numbered, who knows how far they'll go. I may get the Delta one because of the micro connection. Yeah, that was the other one. That was this one. Yeah, this one looks cool. I think this one looks a little better. It maybe not to you though. Maybe not. Maybe you think this one looks better. I thought when I saw this one, it looked like a little bit like he had high heels on, which I'm not a fan of. But it also looked like he might have metal pins. So I don't know. They're out there. They're expensive though. This is unlike the Armorosaurus guys. This isn't one if you're not sure, you won't take a chance on at that price, which I think was almost about $50. I think it was in the high 40s, depending on where you went, Entertainment Earth or Big Bad. And I'm sure maybe Hobby Link Japan, some of the overseas guys might have these as well, but that's where I went. But yes, these are definitely on the higher end. Here's another shot, like a 3 shot. And again, I was like, man, if in a perfect world I get 3 of each one, and you have 3 teams of 3, and just can't do it, guys. Just can't do it. But he looks cool. Oh, and you see here those little shoulder pads that were in the accessories, the little saucers there. They pin in on the shoulder. So this guy definitely looks like he's a flyer. He's a high flyer. He's got more of a jetpack backpack. Got the fins on his thigh, on his calf. Cool looking figure. And apparently there's also a vehicle in this line, which I wasn't aware of. I saw it in the pictures here. And then I remembered I had to go back and someone had it. I can't remember who. But there is a vehicle, and it is kind of I think it transforms a bit. And so this line, there's a little bit more to this line than just figures. I guess apparently there's like small vehicles, but because of it's expensive. That was what I was gonna say. Even though it's small, it's little. You can imagine how big it is if one 118 figure fits on. It's a 1-seater. Pretty much looks like a 1-seater. But it doesn't mean that it's cheap or anything. It's everything in this line seems to be quite expensive. It's on the higher end. Man, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? So very, very cool. Or underwater. Good point. Yeah, fins can mean either thing, huh? Fins could be flying. Fins could be underwater. But yeah, there is a vehicle. I would never probably get the vehicle. I can only imagine what the vehicle would cost. And these guys are going to be they'll probably be like bounty hunters or bodyguards in my world. Who they will protect as bodyguards or who they will be hunting as bounty hunters, I am not sure yet. But that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun is figuring out the story to your new character in your collection. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he an anti-hero? What is he? And that, guys, is my last slide. So let's switch the screen here. And that was it, guys. That was the news. That was what I had from the last 2 weeks. I know it wasn't everything. But last show, we went like 2.5 hours, which was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was crazy. But I didn't want to go that long this time. I thought it was too much. And I still have a few more things. It's going to be a really late night for me tonight. Oh, there's the dog. Came in to hang out with me. Really late night for me. Wow, that light's not good, huh? If I turn that off. Oh, that's better. That's a little bit better. Um, I thought I better not go 2.5, 3 hours tonight, but we still went a good long time. Is there anything though that you guys want to talk about that I did not bring up? I am open to staying on another 30 minutes if need be. The bike might peg into the figure. It could. Yeah, these do seem very modular, right? Um, I use the Hiya Robocop robots as my personal security droids. Yeah, the Ed 209 and just the regular the Robocops. Yeah, so that was all the news. If you want to know about the O-ring news, you got to go to Wilhelm's show. And I know that Bob and Brian on Into the Toy Box talked about March Madness. We could talk a little bit March Madness if you guys want to. Um, I really do enjoy the March Madness. I like it more than the other one that the other guys do. Um, I forget what they call it, but I like the more the tournament aspect of it because it kind of makes you pick, who do you really want more? Do you want Aunt Beru or do you want the fifth brother? Whatever. Uh, and it kind of makes you pick. I'm always quite surprised how many votes Aunt Beru gets and some of the other figures, Simalu and some of the more odd characters. But it's a lot of fun uh, to see. But yeah, that was what I had for the last 2 weeks. I'm trying to think of what I left out. I did leave out and I think one of the reasons I left it out was because I think Bob talked about it on their show last week, the Micromen. I think they were the Micromen, but they were the other version, not the Super Seven stuff. Um, that looked really cool. Um, what else? All the O-ring stuff. Um, think that was it. I can't quite remember now because I cut it out. I looked at the slides and I thought, man, I got too many slides again. I think last time I had 90 slides. I think this time we kept it around 50, 60. The EM208 robots from the 2014 RoboCop. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen the movies in a long time. I haven't seen the movies in a long time. I did see the original RoboCop in the theater though. And my dad, when we came out, he bought me the poster. When you could, I think you still can. Some of the theaters you could buy posters. And he bought me the Robocop poster. And I still have it. It's in my mom's garage on the wall. It's that classic photo where he's stepping out of the car. He's stepping out of the patrol vehicle. Still have that. Yeah, he bought me that poster when we came out. Um, he would always take me to see rated R stuff. My mom would be so mad. He let me watch Aliens, gave me nightmares. Uh, I think that's one of the reasons I don't really care for Alien, like the movies, because I was too little to be watching the first one, and so I've always been more a Predator, like Predator, Aliens. I'm always on the Predator side, and I always like the Predator movies more. The Alien ones, man, they always like scary sci-fi is not my thing. Part man, part robot. Yeah, I was kind of not grossed out, but like I guess because I was so little, I was like scared when they show like, and even in the new one when they just show like his head and it's like just robot like it looks so gross, but it's like amazing because you think some in the future maybe they really will be able to do stuff like that. You had that RoboCop poster too, yeah. Yeah, I know it's still up. It survived. It's been pinned several times, so it's got a lot of holes in the corners. But it survived. It survived all these years, man. It was in my bedroom as a little kid, and then when we moved houses, my mom was like, "That's not going up in your bedroom," so we put it in the garage, and it's still there. It's still there. Yeah. Um, but yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for watching the show. I can't do it without you. I do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I will be pumping out some more videos here soon. Just got to finish that room so I can get all this stuff out of my room here. My table where I do my videos and stuff. It's cluttered completely with stuff. We'll be doing a haul video for February. It's a really light haul. I didn't get that much stuff. Um, because I'm waiting on Eagle Force. I'm waiting on some stuff. I'm afraid to spend any money. But I did get a couple things this month. Um, and then I want to do that vehicle video, and I had it all set up, and I should have did it while I had the moment, but I started on that room, and when you start a project, you never know like how much time and effort it's going to take, and then it becomes bigger and bigger, and that's what happened to me. And like in between this show, I was on Wilhelm's show, and then this show, I'm finishing up the painting right now because I don't want to paint on the new floor, because of drips and things like that. So I'm trying to get the painting. So when this show's over, I'm going to go in that room, try to completely finish the painting, and there's two mattresses in there leaned up against the wall. As I painted different walls, I moved them because I have to put them in the front room or in this room. So I'm gonna have these two mattresses in here as well. So just a mess over here, man. Just a mess over here. So once the mess is cleared, I will be doing videos again and try to get back to that sweet spot, 3 videos a week or at least 2. And but this show's gonna go on. This isn't gonna change. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll talk more news. Cheers, Pinker. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Great show. Don't forget to click. Yeah, please click that like too. Yeah, if you haven't clicked the like, please click the like. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for coming. I'll see you in 2 weeks. If you ever want to talk, leave a comment in this video or shoot me a message on Instagram. I've got to start using Instagram more. I completely, I don't know what, if I stop using it and then they kind of like, oh, he's not using it. So they like, well, I think the rules of things just changed and I haven't been in it so much. But I've got to start using it more. But it's definitely easier to communicate DM on there than it is on YouTube through the comments. So if you really want to chat, go ahead and hit me up on there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I do appreciate all the leads, Bjorn and Bob and everyone, Jeff sending me, hey, did you see this? And please feel free to do that. I can't see everything all the time, and it really helps this show and us talk about different stuff that I might have missed or something that you find really interesting, that, oh, maybe we need to talk about that. So feel free to shoot me those links and talk to me about it. Do appreciate all those tips. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go. Let me set this up here so I hit the right button. But thank you for coming, all right? I'll see you in 2 weeks. Message me if you'd like. Thank you for coming. Everyone who was here, everyone who's watching on the replay, thank you, guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks, okay? Bye now.